Molly my bean, Molly my bean, Molly my bean.
So I was stupid excited about this event right here. I had got my tickets like months in advance, and it would be kind of funny, like the day after I get diagnosed with cancer. This was kind of taking place after that. But yeah, uh, Stefan and Dr. Bobby Feinselves, they had walked right by me at one point, and I just had to compose myself. But I thought it was kind of like a perfect opportunity because I did want to ask Dr. Bobby, a question about how he felt about like chemotherapy and stuff like that. But the host, I'm gonna keep it cute. She looked right at my hand in the air and walked right past me. And I wanted to ask Stefan some questions too, but if she did that again, it wasn't going to be Healing the People's Tour anymore. So, yeah, there's me. And, I had to act like I had some sense and everything. But I wish I could have shared like the whole thing with you, but it was like too long. So, here's a sneak peek.
Was a job with the FDA and worked as a clinical pharmacist in a hospital here in Atlanta at Grady Hospital at South Fulton Medical Center as well too. And as I'm working in the hospital, I'm noticing a few things. What my purpose was coming into the healthcare professional field, I wasn't being able to fulfill it. Elders who decide what our experiences are going to be, who our parents are going to be, who we're going to meet. We got people who say, hey, when you go down there, I want to help you along your journey. We got people who say, when you get down there, I want to help you along your journey. Okay? But you have to understand, this body is the vehicle to have that experience. And when you take this body, you cannot have the spiritual experience that you're supposed to have. When you taint this temple, you can't have that experience. The unhealed version of you makes very different decisions from the healed version of you. Okay? I hope you guys have enjoyed this.
Also known as Stefan Speaks. I've been doing this for about 15 years now. Author of a lot of different books, YouTube videos, you name it. So, I came together with my brother, Dr. Bobby Price, to do this Heal My People tour because there's so much that we're getting wrong, to be honest with you. And there's a lot of foundational things that we don't have in place to not only receive better, healthier relationships, but for you to live a higher quality of life, all right? I also feel like we needed to do the tours because everything's so digital nowadays. Everything's online. And I want to be able to meet y'all in person and talk to y'all, feel your energy, and also dispel a lot of the bad advice y'all hear online. And understand this, what you're hearing on the internet, a lot of times is people speaking idealistically, not realistically, all right? And we're taking these rants and perceptions and we're now projecting it onto people. For example, how many women in this room, and be honest, how many of y'all need to date a man who makes over 6 figures? And when they first got married, or when they were first dating, the woman loved going out to dance. So the man took her out to dance every weekend, all right? They get engaged, dancing continues. They get married, 1 month into marriage, dancing stops. Now, what happens is she starts to make an issue of it, And to the man, it's this excuse, it's that excuse, and society will say, well, you know, it's not a big deal. It shouldn't be a problem. But if it bothers you, it is a problem. Because now she starts to build resentment. Now, when he wants to be intimate, she's not as receptive to him. You see, a lot of times the issues we go through in relationships aren't about the current issue. It's about a root issue that we've been ignoring the whole time. And so he may say, and let me just fast forward and say this, they end up getting divorced. Crazy quick story. Not only did they get divorced, the man asked for a divorce. 1 month later, after getting divorced, and she begged him not to, he asked to get her back. And now she don't want him back, and it turned into a big old mess. But it started with him not being honest about, and women do the same thing, what am I willing to pour into this person consistently for a lifetime? All right? Hard to speak on this specific thing at all these events. So you know how they say in the Bible, one day an Antichrist will come, right? Well, he ain't coming looking like a bad person. He's coming looking like someone good. So he's going to do wonderful, quote-unquote, nice things, but his intention is to deceive and manipulate y'all, and me as well, okay? And so how does that transfer into relationships? Well, a lot of times, y'all are dating someone, and because, I'm going to use women for example, I've seen women sometimes have 2 men who are pursuing them. And you have this one man who goes overboard trying everything in his power to get you, right? And you have the other man who he's expressed his love, he's been nothing but good, but he's not going as hard as the other guy. And to that woman, she may say, well, the man who's trying harder, he must love me. But the whole time, he's trying to manipulate you into being with him. He's actually the guy who does not love you, he just wants to use you. Because lust is easier to chase than love. Love hurts when you're chasing it and it's not being reciprocated. Lust, though, don't care. That's why you'll see women who have men who have no good intentions for you, but will chase you to the ends of the earth to be with you. Now, this does not mean every man who highly pursues you does not love you. It's to help you to understand that the chase itself does not define the love. And so the world is set up to detach you from your spirit. And that's why you can't see things clearly. That's why you may not understand when God's telling you some certain things. But let me tell you, everyone in this room has heard God. Y'all just say, like what y'all heard. Plain and simple. We hear things, and when it's not what we want to hear, we start questioning it. We start thinking, nah, I must be tripping. Nah, that's something else. Nah, it doesn't make sense. Listen, the majority of the time, things that God will tell you will make no sense whatsoever. It's not going to look the way you want it to look. You can't build your faith if everything lines up with what you want to see. All right? It's going to be in conflict with that. And you got to get stronger in that. Because a lot of people, I always ask couples that got divorced. I said, how many of y'all prayed and asked God if you should marry this person? 90% say they never asked God. 10% say I asked God, he told me no, and I still married them anyway. All right? And then when we see all these divorces, we think it's just a broken system of marriage or a broken system of relationships. No, it's a broken system of us not doing the work that we need to do to make sure we're in the right place. All right? So go deeper, establish that relationship, and if you are struggling to hear God in any aspect of your life, consider going on a fast. Fasting is a very powerful way to draw closer to God. On top of, based on everything Dr. Bobby was talking about, it will help you both physically and spiritually. All right? It doesn't mean you got to jump straight to 7 days or 3 days. Start with 8 hours, then move up to 16, then do 24 hours. Ease your way into it, but I'm telling you, it will change your life. I've gone as long as 7 days, no food, just water. Best thing ever that I ever did. All right, and I've done many 3-day, 5-day. I sporadically just do fast all the time. It's a very powerful tool. But that's it for now.